Chapter 5. He raised the cup halfway to his lips. Sophie took another sip of her coffee. I didn't move, or blink, or breathe. Micah lifted the cup higher, and Mom burst into the room, coughing, holding her throat. "Mom?" I cried. "Something caught in my throat," she choked out. "Give me that." She grabbed the cup from Micah's hand and took a long sip. I gasped and slapped both hands against the side of my face. "There, that's better," Mom said. "I ate some potato chips and..." She took another swallow of Micah's coffee, and her expression changed. Micah and Sophie both cried out when they saw the slug slide between Mom's lips. Mom uttered a startled groan. Her mouth twitched. The slug dropped onto her chin. Her face twisted in disgust. She plucked the slug off her face between two fingers and stared at it in shock. Then I saw her eyes travel to the cup. Another slug flopped over the brim. Mom let out a choked sound. The cup fell from her hand onto the carpet. "Wade made the coffee," Micah declared. He turned to me accusingly. Mom stared at me, open-mouthed. I don't believe it," Micah sputtered. "Wade tried to poison me. She put slugs in the cup." Mom's expression changed to anger. Her normally pale face darkened to purple. "Wade," she growled, "this is serious. You have got to stop picking on your brother." I had no choice. I had to get to revenge or us as soon as possible. Carl got home the next afternoon. I called him and told him the whole story. He didn't want to come with me to the other side of town, but I didn't give him a choice. Something bad's gonna happen. I just know that. After dinner, I waited for him on the front steps. It was a hot, sticky night, the air heavy and damp. A pale silver of the moon hung low over the trees. I'd pulled my bike into the driveway so I'd be all ready to go when Carl arrived. The front door opened behind me. Micah and Sophie stepped out. Sophie had stayed for dinner. Micah was rattling Dad's car keys. "I'll give you a ride home," he said, "if you don't mind riding in the Datmobile." Sophie laughed and said she didn't mind. They stepped past me as if I didn't exist. I watched them climb into the car. "Revenge or us," I muttered to myself. "You won't be smiling like that in a little while, Micah." He started the car. The radio blared. He backed down the driveway. "No!" I jumped up. "Micah, stop!" I screamed. I guess he couldn't hear me over the radio. I stared in horror as he backed over my bike. I held my ears against the horrible crunch of metal. "Micah, stop! Stop!" I screamed. He roared away. My heart pounding, I hurtled to my bike, mangled, bent like a pretzel. The last straw, I told myself. The last straw. A minute later, Carl showed up on his own bike. He has a round face, puffy red cheeks, and short blonde hair. He pulled off his glasses, cleaned them on the front of his t-shirt, and slipped them back on. "Is that your bike?" he asked, pointing. I nodded. "Micah?" he asked. "Let's go," I murmured. I borrowed Mom's bike from the garage, and we set off. "Where is this place?" Carl asked. "Flamingo Road," I said, shifting gears as we headed up a hill. "Have you ever been to Flamingo Road?" Carl asked. "No, but looked on a map. It's over by the railroad tracks." "Yeah, and Ricky Flats, the trailer park." "So?" "So?" Carl echoed. "It's not the greatest part of town." "You're not afraid, are you?" I teased. I expected him to say no, of course not. But instead, he replied, "Yeah, a little." "Me too," I confessed.